Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Klieman.
Been around some great football teams. This place has got it going, and they're very good. They're good up front. You know, we got behind, had to throw the football, and they teed off on us a little bit up front, and they did a great job. I mean, they're who we thought they were.
Great comments from Illinois State coach Brock Spack. NDSU handled Illinois State on homecoming 31-10. The Bison are 4-0. Head coach Chris Klieman joins me on set here. Congratulations, Coach. It's always good to win homecoming.
Yeah, it really is. It was great to have so many former players back. I mean, that's why we do this, is we play for those guys that set the standard and the foundation before us. And I know our guys were excited about playing at home after a bye week. And we beat a really good Illinois State team that, let's not forget, they beat Northwestern. Yeah. We beat Iowa. Northwestern beat Iowa. Yeah. It's so much parity in college football.
What did you make of them coming in? They had never lost 3 games under Brock Spack in a row, so this was their 3rd loss in a row. They had lost 2 games coming in, though.
Well, we knew we were going to get their best game. Their backs were against the wall, and I think they got a couple guys back on defense that made them a little bit better on defense. And I think Colby's a really good thrower. Yeah. They needed to probably run the ball, and we did a nice job stopping the run. But it was a hard-fought game and a great win for us.
Well, let's break down the tape on this one in the first half. And there were lots of players back, as you mentioned. Joe Mays was one of those. It looks like he could still put on the pads, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe could.
Wow.
Great to have him back.
Yeah, Joe Mays out for the coin flip. Anthony Warham. Very nice receiver for them.
He's a great receiver. He's one of the best in the league. He runs great routes. He catches everything, and really solid player.
They were in an early rhythm offensively, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and I thought they'd try to come out and pitch it around a little bit. They did a nice job. They kind of had us on our heels a little bit, and we ended up, I think, getting out of that series.
Yep, they had to punt, but they do force a 3-and-out here early for the Bison.
Yeah, we had a good run here, and then I think we missed on a 3rd and short, and we need to start faster. We talk about it a lot. We just need to emphasize a little bit more, both sides, offensively and defensively.
They didn't run the ball well all day, but they did bust a couple of run plays early here.
Yeah, they have some pretty good backs. We missed the cup there. We should have made a tackle, and that's when you find it. A lot of times when you have these runs, there's a missed tackle. There's one there, and then they get to the second level, and backs are good in this league, and you can't let them get to the second level.
Back-to-back runs of totaling 33 yards, but a big win for the defense.
Absolutely. Every time you get in the red zone, you can hold a team to a field goal attempt. I think it's a win as explosive as offenses are.
Sign of things to come. Easton Stick starts to heat up.
Yeah, really good throw and catch. Easton to Gents and get us a first down, and Easton's getting into a rhythm.
So 3rd and 4, great escapability. What a play.
What a great play. Unblocked player, he makes him miss. The guys do a great job with our scramble rules downfield. RJ gets a big first down.
Now a jet sweep, and the timing on this jet sweep was outstanding.
Great job on the timing, and that's the advantage of playing at home. You don't have to worry about the crowd noise, and Shep is so fast when he hits the phone.
Yeah, he does have a burst. 7-3, the Bison have the lead now. And Pierre G. Tucker, this is the first full game without Nick DeLuca. G. Tucker's playing well.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. We moved him to a different position in our nickel package, and Pierre's an excellent blitzer off the edge, as you saw, and he had a number of hits on the quarterback.
Well, big play for Illinois State, 38 yards on this one up the sideline.
Yeah, they pick up our blitz, do a nice job, and Colby's able to get out of the pocket, and one of those 50-50 balls that Warham comes up with.
Now we're in the second quarter, and this is just a busted coverage, and they score.
Yeah, we just messed up in the back end, something we've got to get cleaned up, and we gave them a freebie there.
Still a ball game, 10-7. On the ensuing kickoff, we wanted to show this because, boy, Eric Perkins was slippery early in the game here.
Yeah, it gets a really good field position for us, breaks some tackles. We have some good blocks, and we're past the 30.
Boy, love those one-play 65-yard drives. The next play after that return, what a throw.
What a great throw. What a great route by RJ. RJ just gets behind everybody, and when you throw it in his area, he's going to come down with it.
Big plays are huge, and you got a few of them in the first half. They were still hitting on a few big plays as well, though.
Yeah, once again, Colby makes a nice throw outside shoulder, and they get down inside our red zone.
Turning point of the game, this 2-play sequence right here, this is a big takeaway.
Great job of stripping the ball out. You see Steidel there go and try to knock it away, and then Pierre is around the football, and that was a huge play for us.
So you're deep in your own end. Now you're faced with a 3rd and 8. You need to flip the field, and you get a big play.
Yeah, what a great call by Coach Polasek. And then Chase does a lot of great things here in the open field. There you see Kunert with a good block, and we really flipped the field. That was big for us.
Well, and then the very next play, you took advantage again. Another great play call and a good situation. You got your running back on a linebacker.
Yeah, what a great job by Lance Dunn of setting the linebacker up. Thought he was going to come inside, then went vertical, and Lance is a tremendous receiver out of the backfield.
21-10, 3rd and 1. They threw the football on 3rd and 1. That's kind of a curious call right there.
Well, they were trying to establish the throw. There's no question about that.
Yeah, Dunn now for 7 yards, and then 3rd and 1. King gets a yard and maybe an inch here, but you move the chains.
I thought that was a great run by King. We missed the blocking scheme up front, and King did it on his own there.
Late in the half here, you punt it back to him, and the defense got the ball back to you real quick here.
Yeah, great job on a quick 3 and out, and we flipped the field on this, and now we're kind of in 2-minute mode and trying to get a field goal out of it. And Chase does a great job of at least picking up about 8 or 9, and we're still thinking 3 here, and Easton does a really good job scrambling out of the pocket and finding Jensen, who got behind the secondary.
There was only 27 seconds left when this happened. That's big separation points right there late in the half, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It got us up another score. I think it was to 28-10, and then we know we're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Well, Illinois State rushed for 40 yards in the first half. That number will be smaller at the end of the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. NDSU 103 yards rushing. Turnovers, the Bison had a goose egg up there, and the one for Illinois State was huge, so that takeaway was big. Before we get to the second half, on the Gate City Bank hot seat, Brad Ambrosius. All right, Brad, favorite pro team, any sport?
Green Bay Packers, obviously.
Who would you describe as your hero?
My hero? That's a tough one. I like to think J.J. Watt, but I also like to think Kyle Emanuel. He's been a great influence on me over the years, and I love just talking to him and being around that kid.
Great point. Favorite sport other than football?
Basketball.
Okay. Name something you are bad at.
There's a lot of things I'm bad at. I would say paying attention in class.
What drives you crazy about your roommates?
When they chew with their mouth open.
Yeah,
awful.
That is annoying. Visit any place in the world, where would it be?
I'm going to go with Germany. Big history guy, so there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, I've been there. It's very nice. What do you like most about the Bison coaching staff?
Their sense of family, actually. They all treat us like the same person, so I like that a lot.
One thing people don't know about you?
One thing people don't know about me. I'm a big outdoorsy guy, even though I'm from the city.
Okay,
so
that's a good one. All right, thanks, Brad.
Perfect, thank you.
Well, Coach, always nervous when you're up 28-10 at half to keep the guys focused. Not always a problem with this group, but I think teams, when they have a big lead, worry about that at halftime.
Oh, absolutely, but I think you're right now with this group, and we challenge the guys, especially on defense. Let's try to get home with our front 4, play some coverage, and make them move the length of the field. Then offensively, we wanted to establish a run and kind of eat some of the clock up, and I think we were able to do both those things.
Well, we'll have to credit Joe Mays, but the Bison won the toss to start the game, and we haven't won a toss in a long time, so we'll give him credit for that. But you got the ball to start the half here. They did force a 3 and out, however.
Yeah, they did a good job, I thought, defensively, taking away the jet sweep here, and give those guys credit. I think they have a really good rush defense.
Now, the defense really started to get pressure on Colby here, though.
Yeah, they really did. You see Menard forces them into an intentional grounding and gets them off schedule there.
Caleb Butler comes in. He's a down lineman in these situations, but he provides a little speed and space.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good athlete, and you see he was kind of spying the quarterback and then took off and got him, and I think Colby hurt his shoulder again there.
Not a lot of points in this half, but I'll tell you what, you really chewed up the clock.
Yeah, and this was really important for us to get into our big boy personnel and get 6-7 a pop and get into some 2nd and 4s.
I'll tell you what, this true freshman, James Robinson, this kid's going to be a player.
He's going to be an exceptional player. Really good tackle there by Trey in space.
Now they get a screen to him here, and Coach Spack says he's not playing because he doesn't know protection, but you can tell when he actually gets the ball, he's got ability.
Yeah, he's a big guy that is a powerful runner, and yeah, he's going to be a threat for the next 3 years.
3-star recruit out of the Rockford, Illinois area. Good get for them. Here's a Pierre G. Tucker tackle, and the fact that Robinson was doing so well, that tackle is big. He could have broke that.
Yeah, and there was nobody there, and Pierre did a great job.
Yep, Easton only threw it 7 times in the second half, but good rollout here.
Yeah, excellent call, running some bootleg, and we were able to complete some balls to keep the chains moving.
Lance Dunn, 15 yards, and again, just a solid play.
Yeah, excellent blocking by the guys up front. You see Garrett Malmstrom as a fullback leading the way as well.
Good kick here, 47-yarder.
47-yarder and a big kick for Cam, and to be able to get points and to get it to a 3-touchdown lead was big for us.
Both Tuska brothers have shown some things throughout the course of the year. This is Jared, nice play.
Yeah, really happy for Jared. Does a good job holding, contain, and running the quarterback down and makes a really good tackle.
So we flip it now to the fourth quarter. The Bison in control this one. This is a jet sweep. Doesn't look like much of a play, but there's a personal foul, and the Illinois State sideline really was upset about this.
Yeah, they were. I didn't see it. I see now what Coach was saying, and his guy hits his own guy, but the Stripes made the call.
Yeah, and Coach Spack's frustrated. He's never lost 3 games in a row. It's probably more than that play right there.
Yeah.
But this is a 3rd and 6 play here. Easton gets 7.
Once again, we're moving the chains, and that clock keeps running. And when you're up 3 scores, you want that clock to keep running.
This one just kind of hooked on Cam a little bit.
Yeah, just hooked on Cam. We really need to work the left hash with Cam. He's been really solid on the right hash. We'll have to do some work on the left hash.
Some more good work by Caleb Butler here.
Yeah, great job, great move. He just beats the guard, and that's a 3-year starter at guard, an all-conference player that Caleb beats.
Kind of the key part of this game here is just continue to move the ball, move the chains, chew up the clock,
yeah,
right?
Great run by King, bouncing outside and gaining 7 or 8 yards.
Illinois State had not given up, though. They'd only given up 3 points, so they felt like if they could get some more points, get close here, and then they drop a big play here.
Yeah, and the little passes, those short ones to the flat when you're up 3 scores aren't going to beat you at all. This is one that we have to make sure and address because we can't let anybody behind us when we're up 3 scores like that.
4th and 2 now, they don't get it.
No, great hit again by Pierre off the edge, and Trey does a good job covering it.
Well, this allowed some of the backups to get in, and that's always key. It's good to get the backups some playing time.
It really is. It's our first time this year, and you see a lot of younger players. There's DeMaris Purifoy with a big run. You see Volson in. You see Bacon in. You see some of those guys that we want to get some repetition.
Marquise Bridges, talk about his change in position. He gets a tackle here.
Does a good job here. Levi Jordan as well gets in on the tackle, but some of those younger guys have to step up for us on teams especially.
And we end the game here with a Quentin McCoy stop, and he got a few reps at the end here as well.
Yep, and Q's close to helping us in playing. Q does some really good things.
Victory formation, that's always a good sight, huh?
Yeah, that's always a good sight to see.
Especially in the Valley, 31-10. They had 40 yards rushing at half. They end the game with 37. So, again, minus yards rushing by the Bison defense. They did it at Iowa as well. Very, very impressive. 194 yards on the ground for the Bison. Total yards, 450 for the Bison. An outstanding effort. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
Like they always say, next man knows. So we always look forward to do our best at any given moment anyway. So, but we knew we had to step our play up as well with him being out. So we took upon ourselves to be leaders and bring everybody else along with us.
With stopping the run and just forcing him to pass really opened up the pass rush. So that helped out a lot, just putting in more cheetah package and getting me out on the field more.
I mean, it felt like a normal game. I never thought about just be out there playing, just trying to make plays for my teammates. So I don't never look at it like I'm just doing great. Next play, that's all I worry about.
We always talk about that we're focusing on the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, to be champions, and just being 1-0 for the week, and we're just focusing on the first game in front of us. So this game was amazing because it was the first game in front of us, and now next game is the most important game.
Well, pretty much a layup when it came to picking this week's Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. Easton Stick was outstanding from the start against Illinois State. In the first half alone, he threw for 221 yards and hit on multiple big plays. Easton was headed for a big day, and only separation on the scoreboard slowed him down. Just 7 attempts in the second half. All in all, 13 of 18 for 256 and 3 scores. That's a great day.
We talk about explosive plays are always huge, whether it's the defense talking about eliminating them or us, finding ways to create them. Those are always huge, and I think it was the first play of the drive, and so it's nice to go out there and have a big play and, get the defense to play a little bit different and respect that.
Well, Easton played fantastic. He continues to mature, Coach, and we're going to pull up some of his season stats so far. He's just playing very efficient. Only 2 interceptions, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 65% is a very good completion rate.
It's an exceptional completion rate, and he's playing at a high level, and he's right. We need to have those explosive plays, and if we can continue to get a few of those explosive plays, it'll soften some people up and allow us to run the football. But Easton's playing at a high level. He sees the field so well. And our receivers are making some plays.
And right at 1,000 total yards of offense, so he's being very productive and taking care of the football. Those are both big things, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be able to control the football, control the clock, get our game into the fourth quarter. This one we were in the fourth quarter and had a lead, but Easton really manages the game exceptionally well, and he's a tremendous leader for us.
So no Bruce Anderson in this game. Give us an update on him.
Yeah, he had a lower leg injury they had against Iowa. He practiced a little bit this last week, so that was encouraging, but we felt that if we could give him another week, we think he'd be ready to go for next week. So we'll evaluate that this week.
Unfortunate injury for Eric Perkins late in the game as well. He's been so dynamic in the return game. What do you know about that?
Well, he's getting an x-ray, I think, today on his thumb, and we'll find out more about that probably Monday or Tuesday.
All right, the defense has been playing so well of late. In the Iowa game, -7 rushing yards second half.
Yeah.
In this game, -3 yards rushing in the second half. Last 2 games, 71 total yards allowed on the ground. That has upped you to number 6 in the nation in rushing defense. And ironically, next opponent is Missouri State, and they're doing it well also. But what do you make of those numbers?
Well, especially after you take that first game out when we played an option offense and they were able to gain close to 200 yards, I think, how well we've played the last 3 weeks. And it's all about matchups. You know, the teams that want to come in and sling it around, we have to make them one-dimensional. And that's the thing that I know we did in the second half is we made Illinois State more one-dimensional, and so we could get after the passer. But great job by our defensive coaching staff having those numbers so low.
And on that list, 3 Valley teams are in the top 6 of stopping the run. I guess that doesn't surprise you probably.
No, not at all. You still have to play good defense to have a chance to be toward the top of your conference. And as everybody watches games on Saturday, it's just the scoreboard just keeps ringing up on all these games. And you know, it was a 31-10 game, and I think there's some things on defense that we can continue to improve at.
Sure, no question about it, but those are great numbers. The Bison are 6th in the nation in stopping the run. Fantastic through 4 games. Coming up, Stanley Jones. He's from Bismarck, but there's way more to this story, and we'll have it for you. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Behind Stanley Jones' name on the Bison roster, you see Bismarck, North Dakota. But there's way more to Stanley's hometown story. In this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story, Lee Timmerman tells us Stanley's hometown story is quite global.
Stanley Jones caught the eye of the Bison coaches as an all-state player at Bismarck High. His standout senior season almost did not happen. Stanley's family moved back to Mexico, but he did not want to move away from the Demons. Enter the Schultz family.
When Steve came home, he said, "So, what do you think about bringing someone else into the house?" My first thought was, great.
Steve was Stanley's teacher in high school. Renee was his Sunday school teacher.
Right when I showed up, I just felt welcomed. They did an awesome job. The whole family is just, they're the best.
Stanley became their teenage son to go along with the Schultz's 2 young boys.
I tell Stanley that I got more out of it, that us as a family, we consider him a member of our family. So I think we, in turn, ended up more blessed than probably he did.
Being away from my family that year, it sort of helped me realize what it's going to be like in college since they're all the way in Mexico.
The Schultzes were already Bison fans. They have Esley Thornton to thank for that. And they get to the Fargo Dome as much as possible.
My youngest son, Cooper, his favorite song is Thunderstruck now, and he sings Go Bison. It's not Thunderstruck, it's the Go Bison song.
Renee describes Stanley as soft-hearted. He's just the opposite with a helmet on.
Yep, absolutely. He can be a beast on the field.
Steve says Stanley is soft-spoken, even though he did not always understand what Jones was saying.
When he was on the phone calling home, he would look at us and smile and then speak all Spanish, and then he would be done, look at us and smile, and then go back to English. And so Stanley always had a way. We never, ever, ever knew what he was thinking or talking about, because when he had something really good to tell his parents or really bad, it was in Spanish.
It's the first career sack for Stanley Jones, the Bismarck native.
love him, and I call him our bonus son.
It actually turned out being an awesome relationship.
For the Bison Football Show,
Go Bison!
I'm Lee Timmerman.
Well, Coach, that was an interesting story, and Stanley's been a good kid to have in the program.
Yeah, what a great story. So appreciative of the Schultz family to take Stanley in. Stanley's a really likable guy, and I know they enjoyed their time with Stanley. And Stanley's a really good football player for us. He played an awful lot yesterday. And moving forward, we have a lot of depth at defensive end. We have to find ways to get them all on the field because we have some tremendous talent at that position.
No question. Well, the Bison signed 2 6'6" offensive tackles this past year. In-stater Cordell Volson, and across the river from Becker, Minnesota, Dylan Raduns, who is this week's Peterson farm seed, future crop of Bison. Dylan is redshirting this year after a stellar career for that powerful Becker team that went 25-1, won state titles in 14 and 15. Dylan has the frame but needs more bulk, which he is completely on board with adding.
My focus for this year, obviously I got to gain weight, got to get a little bigger, play tackle. Came in a little light, but that's all right. We got another guy who's light too, so we're just gaining weight, and I got to keep improving on my game so I can help out. This year the goal is obviously just help the team on scout and help the team progress and go back to another national championship. I mean, that's the goal.
So, Coach, you got 2 6'6" bookend tackles that are redshirting, and Dylan looks like he has a lot of potential.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan's one of the best athletes I've ever seen as a freshman offensive lineman, and really good technician. Now we just have to put the weight on him, but we're so pleased with that whole freshman class of offensive linemen. We have a bunch of hits on there that are going to be playing an awful lot of football for us, and we're appreciative of the people at Becker. We've got a couple great ones from Becker.
Yeah, and no wonder Connor Riley's smiling as of late. He's going to work with those kids. Well, still to come, Missouri State is up next, and it's a different Missouri State team than we've seen in the past couple of years. Well, Coach, before the season, Missouri State, the Bears, looked like a layup for everybody. Everyone picked them at the bottom of the league, but that's not the case so far. They're 3-1 right now.
Yeah, there are no layups in this league, as we all know, and Coach Steck has done a great job just in a brief time at Missouri State of trying to change that culture. And I know that them beating Indiana State handily in Terre Haute will have our players and have our coaches' attention. And like the guys say on the press conferences, we're going to try to go 1-0 this week, and we're going to try to go 1-0 on the road, which you have to be able to win on the road in the Valley against a pretty doggone good Missouri State team.
45 against Indiana State at Terre Haute. They're 3-1, so another interesting game for the Bison this week. Enjoy that 4-0 record. We'll see you next time.